गतिं व्यास ततो जायमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So today we are reading Canto 2, Chapter 9, entitled Answer by Citing the Lord's Version. The text number is 45. So please repeat after me. Naradaha praha munaye Saraswatyastate nrapa Dhyayate Brahma Paramam Vyasayamita Tejase Naradaha praha munaye Saraswatyastate nripa Dhyayate Brahma Paramam Vyasayamita Tejase Narada praha munaye Saraswatyas tate nripa Dhyayate Brahma Paramam Vyavasayamita Tejase. Please recite.
Narada Prahamunaye.
Narada prahamunaye Saraswatyas tate nripa Dhyayate Brahma Paramam Vyasasayamita Tejase Narada prahamunaye Saraswatyas tate nripa Dhyayate Brahma Paramam Vyasayamita Tejase. Narada praha munaye Saraswatyas tate nripa Dhyayate Brahma Paramam Vyasayamita Tejase. So we will read word to word. Narada, the great sage Narada, praha, instructed, munaye, unto the great sage, Saraswatya, of the river Saraswati, tate, on the bank, nripa, O king, dhyayate, unto the meditative, Brahma, absolute truth, Paramam, the supreme, Vyasaya, unto Srila Vyasadeva, Amita, unlimited, Tejase, unto the powerful. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In the succession, O king, the great sage Narad instructed Srimad Bhagavatam unto the unlimited powerful Vyasadeva, who meditated in devotional service upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, on the bank of river Saraswati. Purport: in the 5th chapter, the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada instructed the great sage Vyasadeva as follows. So Sri Prabhupada is quoting words from Srimad Bhagavatam, canto 1, chapter 5, and verse number is 30. Atho Mahabhag Bhagavanam Amodadrak Suchishrava Satyarato Dhratavrataha Rukramasyakhila Bandhamuktaye Samadhina Nusmarat Chedviteshtam. O greatly fortunate, pious philosopher, your name, your fame are are universal, and you are fixed in absolute truth with spotless character and infallible vision. I ask you to meditate upon the activities of personality of Godhead, whose activities are unparalleled. So, in the disciplic succession of Brahma Sampradaya, the practice of yoga meditation is not neglected. But because of devotees or bhakti yogis, they do not undertake the trouble to meditate upon the impersonal Brahman as indicated here. They meditate on the Brahma Paramam or the Supreme Brahman. Brahman realization begins from the impersonal effulgence, but by further progress of such meditation, manifestation of Supreme Soul, Paramatma realization takes place. And progressing further, the realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is fixed. Sri Narad Muni, as the spiritual master of Vyasdev, knew very well the position of Vyasdev, and thus he certified the qualities of Sri Vyasdev as fixed in of the absolute truth with great woe, etc. Narad advised meditation upon the transcendental activities of the Lord. Impersonal Brahman has no activity, but the personality of Godhead has many activities, and all such activities are transcendental without any tinge of material qualities. If the activities of the Supreme Brahman were material activities, then Narad would not have advised Vyasdev to meditate upon them. And the Param Brahma is the Lord Krishna, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. In the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna realized the factual position of Lord Krishna, he addressed Krishna in the following word: Parama Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashwatam Divyam, Adidevam Ajam Vivu, Ahustvam Rahasya Sarve, Devarshi Naradas Tatha, Asito Devalo Vyasa, Swayam Chaiva Bravashi Me. Arjuna summarized the purpose of Bhagavad Gita by his realization of Lord Krishna and thus said, "Oh dear personality of Godhead, you are the supreme absolute truth, the original person in the eternal form of bliss and knowledge." And this is confirmed by Narad, Asit, Deval, and Vyasdev. And above all, your personal self has also confirmed it. Bhagavad Gita 10, chapter 10, verse 12 and 13. When Vyasdev fixed his mind in meditation, he did it in Bhakti Yoga trance and actually saw the Supreme Person with Maya, the illusory energy, in contraposition. As we have discussed before, the Lord's Maya or illusion is also a representative because Maya has no existence without the Lord. Darkness is not independent of the light. Without light, no one can experience the contraposition of darkness. However, this Maya or religion cannot overcome the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but stands apart from Him. Upashrayam. Therefore, perfection of meditation is realization of the personality of Godhead along with His transcendental activities. Meditation on the impersonal Brahman is troublesome business for the meditator, is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 12.5. Kleshodikaraste tesham avyakta sapta chetasam. So this is the end of the purport. So now we will discuss on this shloka. Prabhupada wrote very nice purport. So let us talk about it. Om Agyanti Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunvitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadankitam. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So this shloka has so many things actually to discuss. It shows in the beginning of purport Srila Prabhupada is writing about the glories of Vyasadeva, described by Narad Muni, what Narad Muni thinks about Vyasadeva, and why he gave the charge of writing Srimad Bhagavatam to Vyasadeva, because he was the perfect disciple of Narad Muni. And then Prabhupada is writing about the disciplic succession, how Brahmaji, how the knowledge which Brahmaji received from Lord Krishna, how in succession is coming down so far. So it is described that way. And then Prabhupada is writing about the impersonal and personal feature of the Lord. And after that, he is talking about the three features of the Lord, how people realize the Lord in Brahman form, Paramatma form, and Bhagwan form. So this is a different realization of the same Supreme Person. And then Prabhupada is writing that the Bhagwan feature is the best, because when Arjuna heard Chatushloki Bhagavatam, after that he immediately realized the real position of Lord Krishna. And then he started saying Parabrahma, Paramdhama in Bhagavad Gita. So that's why Prabhupada quoted that shloka, because it's very important, the realization of Arjuna. And that should be realization for all of us actually. And then Prabhupada is writing, that there is a lot of problems for the person, who believe in the impersonal form of the Lord. People who believe in the personal form of the Lord, they can exchange the loving exchanges, between Lord and the Jiva souls. So it's very easy to realize in the personal form of the Lord rather than impersonal, because impersonal, there are so many roadblocks on that path, and it's not very pleasing because there is no activity at all. That's why people in Brahman realization, who goes to the effulgence of the Lord after death, they live there, they get bored without any activity, and they come back, fall down again. So that is the position of the people who are who don't realize the Lord in the proper form. So I will read the translation again. O King, your question as to how the universe became manifested. Oh, sorry, I'm reading next sloka. In succession means in the Guru Parampara, how it is coming down. O King. So this shloka is being spoken by the Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. O King, the great sage Narad instructed Bhagavatam unto the unlimited powerful Vyasadeva. So Brahmaji, when Brahmaji actually, Lord came to Brahmaji and he showed his form, and instructed him. He gave him, like we read in the verse 33, 34, 35, 36, the seed verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So after that, after those four shlokas, then Brahmaji thought, that this, because Krishna told him and instructed him that you have to expand this four shloka into many, many shlokas. So then Brahmaji told Narad Muni, because Narad Muni was very intelligent and his most dear son of Brahmaji. So he told his son that how it should be expanded. And Narad Muni then thought that the best person is his disciple, Srila Vyasadeva. So then he instructed Vyasadeva to do this job. And so he, Bhagwan, unto the unlimited powerful Vyasadeva, who meditated in the devotional service upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when he got instruction from his Guru, Narad Muni, that he has to expand this four shloka to full book format, 18,000 shloka for this material world. So because he cannot put too many shlokas, because somewhere in the other universes, Bhagavatam is very, very big, Nobody knows how many shlokas, but many, many thousands of shlokas are there. So, but before doing that, what Vyasadeva is doing, meditated on the devotional service of the Lord. So he meditated on the Lord. It's not like we can do without the meditation. We have to pray to the Supreme Lord to give us the strength to do that particular job. It's not a simple job to write Bhagavatam. Because suppose if Vyasadeva didn't write the Bhagavatam, then what we will be reading now? The Bhagavatam classes. it will be very hard, so that knowledge was very important. And it is coming down since then in succession in the parampara form. And Srila Prabhupada actually kindly wrote the parampara in Bhagavad Gita. After the introduction, there is one page, and Prabhupada listed all the parampara. But this parampara actually was broken in between. It didn't continue because there were so many bad kings also, Kshatriya kings, which were not up to the standard of Rajarshis. Because in the beginning, the kings were Rajarshis. So they were kings also, Kshatriya kings also, but at the same time, they were the rishis also. So they had all the character of the Muni. So they were very much pious people. That's why it was going on, from parampara one to other, one king to other king, it was going on. But then with one place, some bad king comes, bad Kshatriya king, because somebody's son may be bad, and then that's what the chain was broken. Then Krishna has to come himself again and give this knowledge. So in Bhagavad Gita, we read this shloka, the beginning, Imam Viswate Yogam Proktavanam Avyayam Vishwavana Manave Praha Manuriksh Ikshva Kave Abravita. So this knowledge actually Krishna told to sun god Vivaswan. And from Vivaswan, it went to Vivaswan Manave Praha. He told to Manu, who was the one of the Prajapati. And then Manu told to Ikshvaku, who was the one of the Kshatriya king. And from Ikshvaku, it went in the Sun dynasty. So it just continued like that for so many years. And then Moon dynasty came. So it just comes down from that way. So this kind of thing was going in the parampara. But later on, what happens? Bhagavad Gita says in the 14th chapter, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu sakalaneha mahata yogo nashta parantapaha. So says that the supreme science, this supreme science, which Krishna told to Brahmaji and Brahmaji told to Narad, this science received through the chain of Rajarshis, the kingly disciplic succession of the saintly kings. And they understood that way, because they were very pious people, they can understand the real meaning, what Krishna wants. But then, in the course of this, then it was broken somehow or the other. And therefore, the science, as a pair, got lost. And then Krishna came and again told to Arjuna, same thing, what Krishna told to sun god millions and millions of years ago. So this is the way it goes in the parampara. So Srila Prabhupada is describing the parampara in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and I will just read that parampara so we know what we are talking about the parampara. Okay. So it says, in the beginning is Lord Sri Krishna gave knowledge to Brahmaji. Brahmaji gave to Narada. Narada gave to Vyasa. Vyasa gave to Madhava, then Padmanabh, and then there are so many long list. And then later on, like what recently, in like last 500 years or so, then Vyasa Tirtha, Lakshmipati, then Madhavendra Puri, then Ishwar Puri, who was the guru of Nityananda Prabhu also, and Advaita Charya. So it went to Ishwar Puri, and Ishwar Puri gave it to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave knowledge to Rupa, who was the guru of Sanatana and Swarup. And then Raghunath Das Goswami, Jeev Goswami, then Krishna Das, then Narottam Das Thakur, then Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, then Jagannath Babaji, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and then Bhakti Siddhant, Gaur Kishore Babaji, then Bhakti Siddhant, and Srila Prabhupada, and now the same knowledge is given by all our Acharya Vranda to Holy ISKCON. So this is the parampara system, and knowledge comes in the parampara. Somebody cannot just say, oh, I'm the guru, and he just comes, without any parampara. So that guru is not the realized guru actually, because without guru's mercy, nobody can understand the real meaning, which we should know. Otherwise, they will put their own thoughts and everything in their classes, and then this will get contaminated time by time. So that's why, we have to see that some person is in parampara. So there are four authorized Vaishnava Sampradaya, and all have very good philosophy, and one can follow one of them, any of them, and can get really Lord Krishna at the end. So this is the four sampradayas. But somebody doesn't belong to these four sampradaya, that's then it's hard. And four sampradaya all has some good things, So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for our sampradaya, Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya sampradaya, he selected two good qualities from each sampradaya and put it in our sampradaya actually. So that's a very good. So actually Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya sampradaya has the qualities, the good things from all other sampradaya also. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that thing for all of us, and that's very good. So what we were doing actually, Krishna is saying here. So we will continue reading the purport and try to understand. So in the disciplic succession of Brahma Sampradaya, the practice of yoga, meditation is not neglected. So in disciplic succession also of the Brahma Sampradaya, the yoga meditation is done. But what kind of yoga was being done in Brahma Sampradaya? Not the body yoga, they were doing the bhakti yoga actually. So because we are devotees of bhakti yogi, we do not undertake the trouble to meditate on impersonal Brahman. In Brahma Sampradaya, nobody is impersonal. Impersonal is the feature of the Lord. There is no doubt about that. But that feature is not very pleasant, and it's very hard to undertake. Do not undertake the trouble of meditating upon the impersonal Brahman, as indicated here. They meditate on the Brahma Paramam, or the Supreme Brahman. So we meditate actually on the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, absolute truth. Brahman realization begins from the impersonal effulgence. So somebody who has the Brahman realization, their realization actually begins with the impersonal teacher of the Lord, which is Sarvavyapi. Lord who is everywhere, in all the atoms, in between the atoms also. So then that's why when Hiranyakashipu asked his son, Prahlad, that what you learned and where is your Lord? Because he was really that where Prahlad is getting all the powers. So he said, where are you getting all your powers? And he said, from the same source where you are getting your power. Then he asked, where is your Lord? And he said, he's everywhere. Then he asked, he's in this pillar? And he said, yes. So we can know how Prahlad Maharaj has faith in the Lord that he is everywhere and he will come out, Then Hiranyakashipu broke the pillar and Srila Narasimhadev appeared from there. So this is the way how the Lord actually comes in the impersonal form, that people have to have faith in the Lord. So how we can get the faith? Because Ado Shraddha. So Shraddha is the most important thing in the beginning. Because if we don't have faith in the Lord will not come. Lord Maharaj had full faith. That's why Lord appeared. Draupadi also, when she had full faith that Krishna will save me, then she lifted her both arms. In the beginning, she was resisting, herself. But then she lifted both arms and he said, Govinda, Govinda. Lord immediately started supplying sari. So this is the thing that we have to have full faith in Krishna. And how we can develop the faith? For developing the faith, we have to have we have to do Mahat Seva of the pure souls. Mahat Seva is very important. If we do Mahat Seva, then gradually, we can get blessings of the pure souls. And then we can develop the faith in the Lord. Because in the beginning, developing even faith is very hard. Mahat Seva is very important. And also, Satam Kripa. So we have to have the mercy of the pure souls. So if we have mercy and we do their seva, serving them properly, if these two things are prerequisite for getting the full faith. If we don't have these two things, we will not get full faith in the Lord. And also when we do bhakti, for getting for bhakti, we have to get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So how we can get the mercy of the Lord? Because that's very important in the path of our bhakti. Without mercy, we cannot actually succeed in the bhakti. We have to have mercy of the Supreme Lord. So mercy of the Supreme Lord actually comes by we have to have intense desire for that. So there are three prerequisites, for the mercy, getting the mercy of the Lord. One is the intense desire to get that, and then just desire is not enough. Then we have to work hard for that. So hard parishram for that to achieve that goal. And third thing is the same thing, like the mercy of the pure souls. So these three things, when we even work hard, still without mercy, we cannot get the mercy of the Lord. So we have to have mercy of the devotee, because Krishna all the time says that somebody is saying that I'm Krishna devotee, they are not real devotees. Real devotees are devotee of the devotee of the devotee. They are the real devotees. So we have to be servant of the servant of the servant, because in this material world, everybody wants to be master actually. But actually, our real position is we are dasano dasano das. So that's our real position. So if we serve Krishna, serve the devotees properly, then Krishna will be very happy, and then he will shower his mercy, and by his mercy only we can progress. So this is the way we can increase our bhakti slowly. So here Prabhupada is writing that there are three realizations, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So these are the three realizations. So Sri Narad Muni, as a spiritual master of Vyasadev, knew very well the position of Vyasadev. So Narad Muni actually knew the real position of Vyasadev, because Vyasadev is very, very intelligent person. That's why Narad Muni in the beginning of the purport he is saying that Atho Mahabhaga. Mahabhaga means you are highly Bhagyavan, fortunate. You are very highly fortunate, and you are Bhagavan in yourself. Amogdrak. Amogdrak means you are the perfect seer. You can see what is going on in this material world. And you are Suchishrava. Suchishrava means you are, Suchi means pure. So Suchishrava means you are spotless. There is no spot in his character. And Shrava means famous. He is very famous also. And he is Satyarato. Satyarato means he has taken the vow of the truthfulness. So he is, whatever he says, exactly truth, It's not, he just goes around and around and not saying the true things. And also he's Dhritavrata. Dhritavrata means he's fixed in the spiritual qualities. So, and then he says, Urukramasya Akhil. So he's Jai Shri Radha Sharat Bihari Ki Jai. So it's a performance of spiritual activities, and whatever activity Vyasdev is doing is a perfect university, and they are famous in the universe. So these activities of Vyasdev actually, which can take us Akhil Bandha Muktaye from this universe, it can give us the liberation. So these are the qualities of Vyasdev, which was described by Narad Muni. Oh Vyasdev, your vision is completely perfect. Your good fame is spotless. You are fixed in woe and situated in truthfulness, and thus you can think of the pastimes of Lord. So this kind of person can think about the Lord in trance, because Vyasdev didn't see the Lord of Krishna's activities actually, but he was meditating on those activities, and pure souls can meditate. They can take part in those activities. So Vyasdev, that's why he could get in the meditation, he can get all those activities what Krishna did, exactly what happened with Mother Yashoda, with all the cowherd boys and in the gopis and everything, Then he described in Bhagavatam. So it's a real description. Lord in trance for the liberation of the people in general. So that's why Bhagavatam is a pure book, which can liberate the people in general. from this material bondage. So we all are in this material world, and we have to somehow or the other we have to get out of this material world. And the best way to get material world is study Bhagavatam scrutinizingly, chapter by chapter, from first chapter to ninth chapter, and then 10th chapter, like that. And if we do that, then slowly, we can actually study properly and we can understand that way. Otherwise, we will not understand properly. So when Krishna actually instructing Narad Muni, and then once he instructed Narad Muni, not Narad Muni, sorry, Brahmaji. He was instructing Brahmaji in the beginning, and he gave darshan to Brahmaji and instructed and gave the 4 seed verses. So after instruction, immediately Lord Krishna left, disappeared from that place. And Brahmaji was there with the folding hand like that. And then Brahmaji, he began to create the universe. Like, we are seeing now, he began to create the universe. And then he returned to his original position, he was sitting on the lotus flower. And at that time, he was sitting there, and then he started meditating. And in meditation, he got whole Bhagavatam, which was spoken by the Lord in the 4 seed verses. And those 4 seeds actually have the 10 characteristics, which we read in the verse number 44 and 46, which we are going to read tomorrow. So he said those 10 characteristics, but Vyasdev did not describe that in this chapter because it needs a lot of more discussion, those 10 characteristics. That's why we will study them in the next chapter when we start, because this chapter is finishing after maybe tomorrow. This chapter is finishing, then we will start next chapter. So many verses to explain the 10 characteristics, because those are the main characteristics which Lord Krishna want them to include in Srimad Bhagavatam. So those 10 characteristics are the divisions of Srimad Bhagavatam, and which are being explained in next verse, in next chapter by Sri Sukdev Goswami, and we will be reading, how the Parikshit Maharaj is taking them. So in this verse, actually, we are seeing that in the succession of the kings, and then after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, then how Vyasdev actually immediately sat down for the meditation, and in the meditation, he got all the great ideas at the bank of Saraswati river, and then he started writing Srimad Bhagavatam. So we will discuss little bit about the absolute truth, because absolute truth is described here many places. And also we will discuss little bit about the Brahman Paramatma and the Bhagwan feature of the Lord, because it's very important. Everywhere we read it in Bhagavatam, we have to have proper understanding about these 3 features of the Lord. So what is the absolute truth? Why we say Krishna is absolute truth? Because what is the meaning of absolute? Absolute means all other truths are relative to it, because no are dependent on it. All the truths of this material world depend on that particular truth. And who is that truth? Lord Krishna. And how we do know that Lord Krishna is the person who is the absolute truth? Because it's described in all the literatures. Any literature you see, we will see that there is no one beyond Krishna. Krishna is everything, and Krishna himself told in Bhagavad Gita also so many places, there is no truth superior to me. So absolute truth is, we can understand in the 3 features of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. And Bhagwan is the supreme personality of Godhead. As we read, as Prabhupada also gave Param Brahma, Param Dhama, what Arjun said. So that is the supreme personality of Godhead, which is Lord Krishna. And who is the absolute truth? And no truth exists beyond him. It is also said that those who understand Krishna to be supreme person, they are the wise people. If somebody say Krishna is just a person like us, one of us, he was born also, we are taking birth also, like Krishna was born in the jail, something like they think like that, so they cannot get the proper bhakti. because Krishna is the highest manifestation of the absolute truth. So when we talk about Krishna, we are talking about absolute truth because Krishna is the absolute truth. And absolute, what is absolute truth? Absolute truth is source of everything. Krishna says that everything comes from me. I am the cause of all the causes. Krishna said so many places. So that's why he said absolute truth. And he is the ultimate cause of all the causes. So that's why in Sanskrit, in the Vedas, Krishna is said as Satyam Param Dhimahi. So Krishna is that Satyam Param, the highest truth of this world. And highest truth, what is the highest truth? Highest truth, like a truth of this material world, it changes by time. Something, which is truth now, after a few years, it may be wrong thing and then another new truth comes. Like when I was in medical school, at that time people were saying the milk is the best thing for the acidity, and I was drinking a lot of milk at that time. And then now we know that milk becomes in the stomach with acid, the curd, and gives you more acidity and more ulcer. So that truth is gone. Now it's another truth. So the truth of this material world actually are relative. But truth of the Lord Krishna stays always truth, the same truth. It cannot change over the time. Like 500 years ago, this was thing, Bhagavad Gita, we can read each single word. Bhagavatam, we can read each single word. And same meaning now also. It doesn't change over time. So this is the beauty of Krishna's words. So Krishna, that's why Krishna is absolute truth, it doesn't change. And this supreme truth can be perceived in the three features, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So these are, and Bhagwan is the supreme personality of Godhead. But these three features are for the same person. It's not Bhagwan is different, Brahman is different. So Krishna is in the form of impersonal Brahman for the people, who wants to go to his effulgence, So that's their choice. So Bhagwan, so Lord Krishna doesn't force you if you believe in impersonal personal Brahman, but think for the people who worship the impersonal Brahman, their path is very hard and they cannot understand Krishna. Good. Because Krishna has three qualities, Sata, Chit, and Ananda. So people who believe in impersonal Brahman form, they only know the eternity of the Lord. People who believe in Paramatma form, like yogis, who believe in Brahma in the Brahman form, the Gyanis, speculative knowledge. So those people have only the eternal form of the Lord. And people who believe in Paramatma, like yogis, or people who does the meditation on the Supreme Lord in the Paramatma form, they believe in that they get two characteristics of the Lord, eternity and the knowledge. So they have knowledge and eternity, but they do not have the blissful form of the Lord. So Bhagwan form has eternity, bliss, knowledge, and also blissful form. So he has all three of them, who are the real devotees of the Lord, who believes in the Bhagwan form of the Lord. That Krishna is person, and Krishna actually is person. That's why we are person, because we are created on the image of the Lord. Actually, it's not like we have the form and Krishna doesn't have form. How it is possible? It is not possible that way. So Lord Krishna is the supreme person who is complete in the all six features: wealth, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. So these all characteristics are in the Bhagavan. So how we can realize, how we can understand these three forms of the Lord? So Srila Prabhupada explains it like there are sun rays, and then there is sun disk, and then sun planet. So these are the three forms. So sun rays, they just feel, they don't know what is in the sun planet and how hot it is there, and how there are some people live there, because some people even live on the sun planet also, because they are not affected by the heat there, and they don't get burned. Their bodies are made like that. So, and so some people believe in sun rays, so they realize only Brahman form, and some people go up to the sun disk, they see that the disk is there, so they are in Paramatma form. But people who live on the sun planet, they will know much more about the sun planet. So that's a Bhagwan feature of the Lord. Similarly, Prabhupada is telling a story about there were three people in a small village, all three brothers, and they never went to big city or anything. They have never seen the train, how the train look like. So when they grew up, then they thought, let us go to city. One time when some guy, from the village went to in the train, then so they wanted to see the train, how the train looked like. So they went to the city. Then they went to the platform, the train station. So they went there and they were asking the people, where is the train? Where is the train? It was a small station, not too big because the city was not too big. So he said, train is coming, just wait, it's coming in 10 minutes. So they were waiting. And then from far away, they heard the whistle of the train, very loud whistle. So one guy said, "Oh, I understood how the train like. So train is just like a whistle sound." So he ran to the village and he told the villagers, "Oh, I heard train is a sound, He said that way that train is the sound, very loud sound, like a whistle." And then train came little more closer, maybe one mile or something. And then there was a big light, very bright light on the train. So the two brothers remaining, they saw the light on the train. And then, oh, I understood now what is train. A train is big flash of the light, So then one more brother, he left to the village and told the villagers, oh, I saw the light of the train. Train is a light. So then the third brother who was waiting, then train came close by to the station. Then he saw all the compartments of the train, people coming out of the train with their luggage and everything, So he knew exactly there were seats, to sit on the train. So he saw the train and then he actually gave. So these are the three features of Lord, This is different realization. One realized only the sound, one realized only the light, and one realized actual all three features, So this is different realizations of the Supreme Lord. People all believe in the same form and describe the same form, but it is actually all three different forms. So let us continue 5 to 10 minutes more. That what Prabhupada is saying here. Narad advised the meditation upon the transcendental activity of the Lord. Impersonal Brahman has no activity. So the Brahman realized people, they have, like when people impersonalist, when Gyanis, they merge after death, they merge in the Brahma Jyoti. So in the Brahma Jyoti, they get Sayujya Mukti. So Sayujya Mukti, there is no exchange with the Lord. It's very boring. They go there, they stay there for a long time, they get bored and they come back. So there is no activity. So impersonal Brahman has no activity, but the personality of God has many activities. We know how Krishna all the time has all the activities. We know how he was playing with the Yashodamayi, he was playing with all his cowherd boys, the cowherd girls, how he was playing. So it's full of activities. And they are so nectarian kathas, on the 10th chapter, which is 4,000 shlokas. It's so nice. So these activities, and we relish those activities every single day, and then we enjoy those activities, and we can meditate on those activities. So it's very enjoyable actually. So Bhagwan, people believe in Bhagwan feature, they actually continue that kind of thinking about Krishna and his activity. Nama, Rupa, Gun, Leela. So these four things, if we continue meditating on these, then our life is successful. And all such activities are transcendental without any tinge of material qualities. If the activities of the Supreme Brahman were material activity, then Narad would have not advised Vyasdev to meditate upon them. All the activities of the Lord are transcendental. So Prabhupada is writing, if those activities were, suppose, material activities, then Narad Muni will never say to Vyasdev, his disciple, that to meditate on the activities of the Lord. So all the activities of the Lord are transcendental activity. Then that's why we say Param Brahma, Param Brahman, which is Lord Krishna, which is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Paramam Pavitram Bhavan. So these activities are very, very good. So when Krishna says that you are the supreme truth, Param Brahma, Param means supreme truth, and you are Param Dhama, you are the supreme sustainer or abode, you are the supreme abode. So everybody can take shelter there. And then you are Pavitram, you are very pure. And Krishna is Param Bhavan. You are the Supreme and you are Purusha. That's very important that you are in the form of Purush. You are not impersonal, you are personal, you are a person. And then he's saying you are Shashvatam, you are eternal. And then he's saying Divyam, you are transcendental. So, and he says you are Adi Devam, you are the original person. Krishna is original person. Nobody was there before Krishna. So, he is the original person. And then he says you are Ajam. Ajam means you are unborn. Krishna never takes birth actually, he is always there. And you are the Vibhum. Vibhum means you are the greatest. So Krishna is the greatest in all over the all three worlds, in the spiritual world, material world. Nobody is greater than Krishna. So that's way Arjun realized the Krishna when he was talking to Krishna. So we have to realize Krishna in that way only. Then only, and Arjun realized Krishna's position when Krishna said the for Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Then he realized who Krishna is. And then his realization is telling to Krishna. So we have to realize Krishna in that way, that then we can understand Krishna properly. Arjuna summarized the purpose of Bhagavad Gita by his realization of Lord Krishna and thus said, My dear personality of Godhead, you are the supreme absolute truth, the original person in the eternal form of bliss and knowledge. And this is confirmed by Narad Muni, Asit, Devat, so many great rishis. They believe that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And Vyasdev and all other saints, they all believe that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And now Arjuna is saying, now you yourself, Lord Krishna himself was telling to Arjuna this thing, and he is confirming that. So there should be no doubt that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So Vyasdev, when he instructed by his Guru Narad Muni to meditate on Lord Krishna, our supreme person, then he started meditating. And then he went to Bhakti Yoga trance. And when he went to trance, he can actually see the Supreme Lord. Because when we go in trance, but he saw also Maya with that, which is the Maya is the illusionary energy. So Prabhupada is writing here that illusionary energy cannot affect the Lord Krishna because Krishna is so pure. So in illusory energy, he saw in the contraposition that somebody doesn't believe in Krishna, then Maya will attack him. Otherwise, Maya cannot do anything. Because Maya cannot stay without Lord. Like chaya, like shadow. Shadow cannot stay without light, without in the light only we can see the. If it is all dark, then where is the shadow? You cannot see shadow in darkness. So we have to have light. So in light of Krishna, shadow can be there. So that's why Maya Devi is like a shadow in Krishna's presence, Without presence of Krishna, Maya cannot stay there. However, this Maya or illusion cannot overcome Supreme Personality of Godhead. It cannot do anything, but it stands apart from it. That's why Maya Devi is called Uparashrayam. So therefore, perfection of meditation is the realization of the personality of Godhead among the transcendental activity. Meditation on the impersonal Brahman is very troublesome. That's why Prabhupada is quoting the verse from Bhagavad Gita. Klesho adhikaras tesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gati dukkha. Means if you believe in avyakta form, in personal form, then your gati, your destination is dukkha. You will be getting only unhappiness, miseries. You are not be very happy. Happiness, you have to believe in personal form of Lord because this is full of miseries actually. This whole path of impersonalism That's why Prabhupada never liked this Mayavad or impersonalism. He never liked it because he says that this is full of miseries actually, and it's very hard to make progress in believing Lord in the impersonal form. And it's very difficult actually. So we should not never believe in that form at all. So very little time left now, so I will open for any question or answer of the end here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes, bro.
Why are people attracted to the impersonal form?
Easy for them to meditate on them, not remembering all the activities of the Lord and all things. So they think that there is no rules to follow, no activities, nothing. We need not to do anything. Personal form, then we have to do worship and all those things accordingly. In personal form, everything is Lord. This wall is Lord, a chair is Lord, everything is Lord, supreme. So they need not to do anything. So they are lazy people actually, who don't want to do anything, no activity. And but gradually they can be purified, Krishna, they are at least, doing something good. So they are not completely rascals. They ultimately can turn into devotee. Krishna will give them mercy, and but takes time. It's a hard path. But that's why probably people don't. Yeah. Krishna is everywhere. They need not to go to temple even. Krishna is in my home also. Why I should go to temple? Yeah. And even in the home, they will sit in the chair. Krishna is in the chair too. So why I should go even have this small photo or anything, or a small temple in the house. So that's why it's much easier for them. Yeah. Say, Lord is everywhere. Why I should go anywhere? So I will just sit and become more and more lazy. So that's their thought. Any other question? Thank you. Yeah.
Can I comment? This is Yashodhara. Can I comment?
Yes, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna,
I
please.
disagree. Hare Krishna. I disagree with what you said. Yogananda wrote, taught meditation, and it's a very extremely hard path. And all the niyamas and aniyamas are followed, and you do worship God. You do worship Krishna. You do worship God. There is nothing saying that you have to. It's not a lazy path. Most difficult path. Meditation is extremely difficult. Following self-realization path, you have to follow every rule that is stated in the Vedas, every rule in Bhagavatam. So, and realization is difficult, but you find it in your own way. Find it in the way as prescribed. And the prescriptions are just as is stated in Gita. So to say they're lazy and they don't follow any rules is very, very wrong, and is putting down someone as great as Yogananda is. And there are other rishis too, other sages. We don't know. You do not know, and I do not know. But I'm saying there are very strict rules, and everything is followed totally. So that is my comment on that. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
For your comment, and yet Lord can be realized in both forms, impersonal and personal. But Krishna has clearly said in Bhagavad Gita that that path is troublesome, and the progress in that path is very hard. But
Yes,
as
sir,
I
I
told
agree
you,
with that.
people can still progress slowly, and ultimately they will get Krishna's mercy at some time. But it may take many, many births. It's not that easy. It's very easy to realize Krishna, meditate on his activities, and then release those all the activities. So in personal form is much better. Then and everybody, all the rishis, munis, all the great Rajarshi kings, And all the sages, they all believed in personal form of the Lord. But nobody is denying that he doesn't have in personal form. Some people want to go that route, they can go, but it will be very hard.
But devotion is important.
It's
It
up to
is
the
all part
person,
of it.
choice. Krishna never says you believe me in this form or that form. He's just telling that what path is much easier, what path. If somebody wants to take difficult path, it's up to them. But it will take several lifetimes, because many people go to Salyoka Mukti and then they come back again. So it's clearly written on the literature. So we should read it properly and see what is our choice. Thank you, Anand.
Are there any other thoughts or questions?
So can you slowly repeat the three forms?
Brahman form, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So Brahman form is all pervading form, which is everywhere. Yeah. And then localized form of the Lord, which living in all the jivas' heart, in the form of Paramatma or super soul. And then the Bhagavan feature. Bhagavan feature is his real feature, the Lord, which is full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, blissful form of the Lord.
So in this, it's Brahma Paramam is
Brahma Paramam is the Bhagavan form.
and Paramam.
Brahman form is is Krishna. That's also Bhagavan. Param Dhama, Param Brahma. That's all Bhagavan feature.
Param Brahma.
Yeah, it's Bhagavan feature of the Lord, which is given in Bhagavad Gita in the 10th chapter. Yeah. All right. That's it. Okay. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय।